Little bad news make a big difference. Today I'm gonna tell you a few little things which make life of a foreigner or expat who is buying real estate in Konyaaltı, Antalya quite inconvenient, and maybe even more than that. First of all, a while ago the government decided that foreigners who permanently live in Turkey no longer need museum card. I don't know if it's such a bad news, but it is certainly concerning news to me. I used to go to many different places in Turkey where you have to pay, and if you bought that museum card, it was only 60 lira per year. Essentially, all the doors to all places were open. And what often happened is I would take somebody with me, like guests or acquaintances who come to the same site I've been there before, and they would pay, I wouldn't have to pay. Personally, I think it is not a good idea. It is not a good business sense to do it that way, because if you revoke that museum card from foreigners, that means that many other people who come and visit those foreigners as guests and potentially definitely interested in historic sites of Turkey, it is less likely that they will be going to it. The only explanation which I have, and that explanation more like empirical, that following the same strategy of having organized tourism rather than individual tourism, Turkey wants to have organized groups go to those historic sites rather than individuals. The other, even more concerning news, that in Konyaaltı now, and I already heard of several cases like that. I don't know if it's widespread, I don't know if it's a private initiative, maybe there is something to it as a business sense again, but if you bought a flat in Konyaaltı and you need to connect electricity, you will not get it. Yes, I'm not making a mistake. The company will not connect electricity to your apartment even if you have a property deed. The reason for that, you have to have a residency in order for them to connect that electricity. And if you don't have it, the only alternative is to find some kind of friend who is a foreigner or who is a local citizen, a foreigner with the residency or local citizen who can probably do it for you. But you as a person, as an owner, you can no longer do it. You have to apply for residency, get it, and only after that you will be able to connect. That's quite interesting. I don't know if it's an instrument to move some of your renters out, because if you had a renter who is living and doesn't want to leave, technically, I don't know if it's legal or not, but technically you can disconnect them that electricity, and if they are not on residency, if they're just visiting there, or maybe their residency expired, they will have to move out because they will not be able to connect again. Maybe they can find somebody else who will do it. Those little things don't make much difference in life. There are workaround for them, but honestly, this is kind of a ringing bell of inconvenience which is becoming more common. The other topic which I wanted to share with you today is real estate. And that will be more of a projection, because many of you watching this video from United States, United Kingdom, Canada, other countries, and you are probably projecting yourself retiring in Turkey sometime. That's why you're learning, you're studying what is going on, you kind of keeping the eye on how situation evolves. By the way, I'm today not in Antalya. What you see behind me is Minsk, Belarus. As I told you, for summer I usually leave Turkey and go elsewhere. And here in Minsk, Belarus, it's a beautiful summer, plenty of oxygen, because July and August in Antalya, they are brutal, and sometimes you have this really hot wind going on and you hide in your apartment and you turn the air conditioner. So if you decide to retire or move to Antalya, beware that in the summer you'll have to find some other places. Maybe you can go to Europe if you like Europe. Personally, I prefer other countries, and that's why I am here in Belarus, Minsk. Maybe I'll make some other videos about it, maybe not. But so far, I've been here just a couple of days and I absolutely enjoy it. In Turkey right now, there are fewer construction sites started. There are fewer permits applied for. What it means that in 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, that's usually what it takes to have the construction site turn into a completed building. There will be a fewer apartments available for buy. I'm talking about the new ones. And that means probably that it will have something to do with the prices. Besides, we all know now, and that's proven fact, that construction materials have risen in prices. The cost of construction is going up. Most of the construction companies who still have money, who still have investors, they are trying to finish their construction and sell flats. And the sales right now are really falling flat. Not much of activity going on. Mostly local buyers, Turkish citizens who are buying, and they are pretty shrewd. They buy, but they buy at the deep discount, and there are quite a few people probably who want to sell and move out for various reasons, and that is, I think, what we really observe right now. You don't really see much of it in Sahibinden or those sites which list for sale. Prices in those sites are pretty much the same, and you can find quite a few choices to buy. Again, as a foreigner or as expat or as a retired person, maybe you just want to have it for spring or autumn and then spend your summer and winter elsewhere. But you still have to buy a flat probably. You don't have to. Renting for 3 months now, that's considered less than 3 months, is considered short-term rent, and you don't have a lot of choices in there because people have to apply for licenses, they have to register with the tax office. And renting for long-term, meaning for an entire year, but living there only half of the year, I don't know if it really makes a lot of economic sense on your side. You will have to kind of manage this. So I'm thinking that in a year and a half or 2 years, the prices will not fall. And maybe they will go up, considering that everywhere in the world the inflation is still going on. So should you buy in Turkey right now? I would say that right now buying some kind of flat in Turkey as good as any other time, and maybe even better, because the rush which we had a year ago, year and a half ago, is over. It's really, really quiet, and availability of secondary market, the availability of flats in a secondary market is pretty wide. You can find quite a few things. And if you don't need a residency, if your visa permits you to stay in Turkey for 3 months out of every 6 months, then you don't have to worry about anything else other than connecting the electricity now. You can buy it even in the closed mahallesi or open mahallesi, and live there. You just live there for 3 months and you go elsewhere and then you come back. That's my thoughts for you. If you decide to come to Minsk, or if you're interested to come and check it out, I highly recommend it. It's very, very nice place to come and visit. Very quiet, very, very peaceful, and I would say serene. I'm Vas, welcome to my channel. Good luck.